Paris Games could be dubbed the Seine-Saint-Denis Olympics.
It doesn't look quite ready yet.
Next summer, one of France's most notorious neighbourhoods will host around 70 Olympic competitions. All eyes will be on the impoverished area, but can it improve its image abroad?
We trust Seine-Saint-Denis to welcome the world.
The event raises a lot of hope, but also a lot of anger.
The legacy of the Olympics in our neighborhood is nothing but real estate.
16 million tourists are due to pour into the area. French police have launched the Olympics Operation Zero Crime.
We have willingly decided to boost law enforcement.
With soaring unemployment and crime rates, Seine-Saint-Denis has a huge challenge ahead.
It's not just the Olympics, it's also the future of our city.
It's the size of 70 football fields put together, an area once dedicated to warehouses, businesses, but also industrial wasteland. In just 4 years, the entire neighbourhood has been revamped to become the future athletes' village.
The idea is to blend into an existing urban landscape. We have the city of Saint-Ouen with its old neighbourhood, and we also have the service sector and the residential side in Saint-Denis. In the middle, we have the movie studios, the Cité du Cinéma. We tried to create something coherent.
Once the Olympic and Paralympic Games are over, the athletes' village is expected to be upcycled into a new eco-friendly district.
We created it so it would last in the long run. Most importantly, to accommodate an entire neighbourhood with housing, offices, shops, schools, daycare centres, so it would leave a positive legacy for the area.
By 2025, 6,000 new residents and nearly 6,000 employees are due to settle here. That's almost double the population of the territory. On Heritage Day, the building sites were open to the public.
The athletes largely want to spend time at the Olympic Village because it's an iconic place and there's an incredible atmosphere.
So the French team will be there too?
All buildings must be delivered by the end of December, before the arrival of the first athletes in spring.
It's not just the Olympics, it's also the future of our city. And that's why I wanted to visit, to see what it would look like.
You get the impression that it's just going to be a row of apartment blocks, but we've already started to envision a new lifestyle here. The transformation of our neighborhood will be a success.
Many are delighted with the project, but others are more wary. Especially those living in the Pleyel neighborhood. It's said to become the future entrance to the Olympic Village, but some residents are not happy with the transformation.
To meet the deadline, they're putting the well-being of 600 children at risk. And not just 600, it's a school, so it's 600 children every year.
Hamid Ouidir leads a parents' association at the local school. He's worried about the construction of a new bypass road that's been built around the school to connect the Stade de France stadium to the athletes' village. More than 15,000 vehicles are expected on that road every day, a health hazard for Hamid.
We were in favor of introducing 1.2 hectares of vegetation, with public gardens that would create a sort of green wall, filtering fine pollutants and moving them from this axis onto the railway tracks. We would have had some fairly dense vegetation here, and that option would have perhaps dealt with the issue of extreme pollution.
Hamid says the population's concerns haven't been heard, and that decisions were taken in haste.
The Olympics are a catalyst for carrying out this kind of project. If the Games weren't hosted here, we wouldn't have a project like that. Or at least not in this format, and certainly not on this schedule. Many things have been accelerated because of the Olympic Games.
The countdown is indeed underway. Seine-Saint-Denis must be ready for the event, no matter what. That day in the future heart of the athletes' village, the studios of Paris opened their doors to local job seekers, a fair dedicated to the Olympic Games, with more than 10,000 jobs up for grabs. Loretta is still a student. She'll turn 18 next summer, and she's eager to hand out her CV.
It's all about tourism, so why not try applying for a job in catering? Why not? I could even become a hostess. That would be nice.
Like her, some 16,000 candidates came in the hope of finding a job. They were sent by their job centres, often without any details about the contracts available.
I'm a single mom at the moment. My little boy's at school, so in terms of hours, I'm looking for a full-time 9-to-5 job.
So here at Sodexo Live, we offer more than 6,000 jobs. We have opportunities in catering or waitressing, but starting next summer. We do have jobs up for grabs now within our food services company, but today we're only recruiting for the games.
For this young mother, the interview was disappointing.
I thought they'd have something available now, because I'm looking for a job now, not in a year's time.
But for recruiters, the job fair is a great opportunity to collect as many applications as possible. Most of them are struggling to hire and are doing their best to attract attention.
Today we have around 1,700 hotels in France and nearly 2,000 jobs available. We're essentially still looking for 2,000 people. So you see, those who'll work with us at the Media and Athletes Village will be trained and will have gained experience to then potentially stay on at one of our hotels.
The unemployment rate in the region is one of the highest in France. The International Olympic Committee has vowed to hire locally, but it's more difficult than anticipated.
We try to make sure that all economic opportunities benefit local residents. There's sometimes a gap between the job offers and the people's skills in terms of training, qualifications, integration, to meet the criteria for the jobs that have been created. This is a great opportunity because it's about experience and training that can then be used later in a more permanent job.
Some businesses have already started to bridge that gap. The association Allage is currently training around 150 people, helping them build a career in landscaping. They've secured a public contract linked to the Olympics. 30% of the budget is reserved for social enterprise and local businesses.
Our teams are involved in the Olympics. We are truly part of the social mobilization. The great thing about the Olympic Games is that we'll have much more interesting projects. We have prodding workshops that allow trainees to see something different in their integration journey, rather than just doing some more traditional maintenance work. We'll do some mowing, weeding, pruning, and it will allow them to experiment with the range of skills needed to become a landscape gardener.
I'm new to all this. It's my first time. It's not bad.
As a result, new partnerships have emerged, like with this plant nursery.
Without the Olympics, we wouldn't have been called up. It has allowed us to create a link that may last in the future. We used to get hired for one-off jobs, but this has led us to having a different approach and to boost professional reintegration.
High stakes for everyone involved, but the economy isn't the only concern here.
Today we're going to carry out an operation in the city cordon. It's part of the Olympics zero crime plan. Let's go.
The region's crime statistics are notoriously high, and with 16 million tourists expected, security has been tightened. For over a year, police raids on drug hotspots have multiplied. We're in the town of Saint-Ouen, just a few hundred meters from the athletes' village. 4 police cars, officers on foot and on bikes. The security plan is robust to catch drug dealers red-handed. Artena is the dealer's alert. It echoes across the towers of this housing estate, one of the largest drug trafficking spots in the region. The operation only lasts a few minutes.
T824 de TKV 824, deux objectifs interpellés au Caltopin reçu.
At the bottom of the towers, a community garden meticulously searched by authorities. As a result, 4 people are arrested and a few grams of marijuana are seized.
Saint-Ouen is a special case. It's a city that's well known for drug trafficking, so we already knew how to deal with it. But one thing's for sure, since the end of 2022, these operations have been carried out more often.
For the residents, this scene is all too familiar and triggers a nervous laughter.
On vous voit tous les jours avec des gens qui sont comme en vélo. Et ils sont que deux. On les voit, c'est pas pour rien. Quand ils sont là, c'est qu'il y a un problème.
The crackdown has intensified ahead of the Olympic Games. The head of local security says the aim is clear.
Visitors need to be able to come and go safely in Seine-Saint-Denis when they travel to their accommodation, when they take public transport or visit friends or even go sightseeing. It's a 24-hour job, 7 days a week, throughout the whole territory of Seine-Saint-Denis.
But it seems drug dealers aren't the only ones targeted. Beggars, homeless people and migrants are all being hidden from sight, sparking criticism from a group of around 60 charities who protested in front of the Olympic Committee headquarters last month.
It will have a huge negative impact on the homeless population. We want to bring attention to the flip side of the Olympics, the social cleansing of the streets, the prevention of food distributions in certain care centres. Our aim is for exclusion not to be the legacy of the 2024 Olympics, but for now, things aren't very encouraging.
France only has a few months left before hosting the Games. Little time to turn things round. A speedy transformation, it hopes, will have long-term positive effects on Seine-Saint-Denis.